Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Lianna Walden here, sex and relationship coach, sexual energy activator, helping you create the best life, love, and sex that you can have. So, we are going to talk about trusting your partner today. How do you trust your partner? You know, it's a big topic that we all deal with, that we all face when we are in an intimate relationship. So, let's talk about that. I'm going to give you some tips. I'm going to talk about different things around trust, and it is the month of trusting, opening to trust. So let's get into that. First, subscribe to my channel. Subscribe. That's just what you need to do. And you can sign up below for my newsletter to be the first to know about my program coming up. It's called Deeper Us. Okay, Deeper Us. It's a program that's going to be for couples wanting to deepen intimate connection with each other, called Deeper Us. So sign up below in the description, get on the mailing list so you'll be the first to know about it, to get the special deals and all of that, okay? All right, so trust. Now, this is something that comes up all the time in relationships. You know, trust, what is the most important thing to you in your relationship? What's the most important thing that you find is that you need to have in a relationship? And trust comes up pretty high sometimes first for most people. And I want to throw that out a little bit, okay? I want to talk about that, and I want us to try to find a way that we can soften this concept of trust a little bit, so that it's not so black and white. It's not so, forefront in the relationship that we have with our intimate partners. And why did I say that? It's because being honest is tough. I think it's one of the hardest things for human beings to do, is to be really, totally, and completely honest about everything, about how you're feeling, about what you want, what you desire, about what's going on in your life. Why is it difficult? It's difficult because, and why is it difficult to be completely and totally honest? Because sometimes we don't know ourselves. We don't know the honest truth ourselves. We haven't found it. We haven't located it. We haven't connected with it yet. So how are we supposed to be able to speak openly and truthfully to our partner until we actually find the information within ourselves first? Okay? So this is one big reason why I think we have to back off a little bit on being so adamant about trust is the most important thing in my relationship. Yes, it's important. But in order to trust, you want to feel like your partner is being totally honest, right? And that aspect is the part that is not always easy. I'll give you an example. I was married for 23 years. My partner, after 13 years of marriage, is starting to unravel. I'm not sure what's wrong with him. I know something's wrong. I'm not sure. Anyhow, I talk about this story many times here, but also in my Patreon account, I get into details about what actually happened when he finally came out and told me that he had some experiences with men behind my back. Now that's cheating, right? That's being dishonest. That's cheating. And so when I first heard, I was, pretty shocked. I thought I knew this man. I knew about him. I thought I knew who he was. I knew what he was doing. I thought he was being honest and truthful. I've known him for 13 years. And then I find out that he hasn't been. But as we discussed, as I calmed down, as we got into the details about what actually happened, I find out that he himself didn't really know what was going on for him. He was feeling these desires. He needed to explore and find out what they were about. He needed to find out what his truth was, what his honesty was. And this is not a good excuse for why he didn't tell me, because we were communicative people. So I said, why didn't you talk to me? Why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you give me a chance to discuss it? And a very that question is absolutely valid. But sometimes you can't. Sometimes you just are too afraid. Sometimes you're too wrought and within yourself to be able to say anything about what's really going on, what you're really feeling, because you can't even accept it within yourself, right? And so you're in an intimate partnership and you're afraid to even reveal it to yourself, or you're afraid to stop denying what is actually going on, or to come to some kind of conclusion about it, because you need to kind of work it out first, and you are not in the position, or you don't feel you're able to talk to your partner for whatever reason. It doesn't really matter why, because you can have the best, closest relationship ever, which we did, and find it difficult to be able to talk about it because it upsets you maybe, or it's difficult for you. It's life is messy. And so of course he didn't tell me the truth a number of times, because he had gone and experimented, cheated behind my back. When he finally told me, now he's coming out, he feels horrible, he feels like I'm definitely going to leave him because he's been dishonest. He knows he's been dishonest, but he also understands that he couldn't do any more than what he did. He was unable to allow it to come out, and up until, whatever it was, a year and a half later. And I recognized that, because I thought about myself and some of the things that I myself had not told him. Now, I wasn't fooling around behind his back, but I was feeling like, is this going to be the only person I ever have sex with for the rest of my life? I would like to try something different. I want to explore some other things. And I was thinking about it. I was allowing myself to go into, my own fantasies and my desires, and I wasn't playing them out. But there were connections that were happening with people that were possibilities, and I wasn't telling him these things because I didn't know myself what exactly it was. And there's not only the fear, there is within our own beings, we hold beliefs about sex, about desires, about our own sexual being, that has created so much fear that it is very difficult to be completely honest about what you desire, to be completely honest about who you are as a sexual being, to be completely honest about what you want sexually. It's difficult. It's not a free-flowing energy in most people. I'm trying to help create that free-flow energy. But I know that it's difficult. I know that it's constricted and blocked, and the energy is starting to flow in our society, but there's still a lot of blockages and fear. And so when one can't be honest because of everything that has happened, not just from your own past, but from generations back, from disallowing you to feel free to speak with how you need to speak, and then there's this big umbrella of trust is the most important thing in the relationship. You have to trust if you don't have trust, if your partner is not telling you the truth all the time, and you can't trust them with everything, then there's something wrong with your relationship. But I disagree with that, because we need to still work out a lot of stuff, and we need to be as honest as we possibly can, but we need to first be as honest as we can with ourselves. And I talk a lot about looking at these old beliefs that just don't work anymore, that aren't helping us anymore, that are archaic, that are not allowing sex to flow, are not allowing us to be sexual beings, are not allowing our sex lives to be exploratory. All these beliefs that are holding us back, we need to look at them. We need to expand them. We need to open them. We need to let them go. We need to change them into ways that are more healthy and more allowing, so that we can be more honest with ourselves. We can let ourselves go to those places, and then we can be more truthful and honest to our partners. And so I just want to create this conversation around this trust thing. And if if something has come up in your relationship where your partner's done something that's been against, created a blockage, a break, break in the trust between you, around the sexual in particular, because that's where, it tends to happen, then try to soften a little bit around that and talk about this openly. Try to find out what's going on around the beliefs that somebody has, why. Really listen to the truth about why they were unable to be truthful to you, so that there could be that building block of trust there. And understand that we're all human. We're human. And when you're in a relationship for a long period of time, you are as good as you can possibly be. You do the best that you can, right? You do the best that you can. And sometimes it's just, you just need to figure stuff out on your own without having to tell your partner everything. And I think that that's okay. I mean, I don't want it. I don't like it for me in my relationship, but I'm not putting that heavy expectation that trust is the main thing in my relationship. For me, I think it's that somebody is there for me, that loves me for who I am, even if I'm not truthful at times. I try to be as truthful and honest as I possibly can. But it's not always easy. It's not always easy, right? Sometimes those things inside of us are like, ooh, God, I can't reveal that. Maybe I have to figure this out first. And that's okay. So I hope that this might help you in some way, because I talk a lot about revealing desires and holding back, trying not to hold back, trying to be open with your partner, trying not to hide things, right? And we are coming forth, we are speaking, we are allowing our truths to come out. And I think that's beautiful. And there's a lot more work that needs to be done. And take it little steps at a time, and know that we all are holding stuff inside as human beings, that life can be messy at times. But if you love that person, you have to know that you just be there for them. Be there for them in who they are and what they're experiencing and what they're going through. The sun is really coming through here now. All right, so maybe put a little note below about how do you feel about trusting trust? What do you feel about that concept of trust? If you can comment below, I'd love to hear your thoughts around that. And I'd love to hear about any other topics that you'd be interested in hearing about. And it's a full moon tonight, so go out and get the power of the full moon and absorb it and feel it. It's all about relationships and allowing relationships to flow easily. Okay, lots of other things too, but that's an aspect. Okay, I am off. Thank you very much for being here. Mwah! Much love making.